Detroit Lions fans, what is up? It's Steve and Will back with another episode of Detroit Den 313. Steve, before we get going, I wanted to talk to you about something that kind of blindsiding you a little bit. I love doing it. I haven't been able to do it because I've been away. So I'm gonna take this opportunity.
Well, there's a saying, William, and I live and die by it, and I've got it tattooed on my lower back. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So shoot.
I love it. I love the energy. So we still have a couple of jerseys that we haven't given away just quite yet. And I know we had mentioned about, maybe getting into the first couple of weeks of the season and doing something like that. But I'm gonna give the fans or the Denites an opportunity here to get themselves an extra jersey added to that list right here and right now. Steve, I am going to write a number on this card right here. This blank card right here. There's no cheating, guys. There's no cheating. I'm gonna write a number down of my favorite Detroit Lions player.
Do I get to play? Because I already know what it is.
All right. Well, let's just drop it. Let's just drop it then. I won't lie. Let's not keep wait.
Tell them who your favorite Detroit Lions player is.
Yep.
Brian Branch,
folks. This is easy. Brian Branch. So listen, guys, all you have to do is put Brian Branch in the comments and we will enter your name to win a Brian Branch jersey. That's it.
Or could we do something like BB or 32, anything related to Brian Branch?
You can put my dog's name in there.
Bama, anything along those lines.
You can put my dog's name in there, BB, if you want to. Any of the above, and we will enter you in for this free Brian Branch jersey. That's it. Like it, comment, BB, Brian Branch down in the comments. That means you've been a watcher of the show, and you will get entered into that raffle. That's it. Steve, what we're talking about.
And you don't even have to pay for shipping. But what we're talking about today, other than free jerseys that we give away for the price of a comment.
Yeah.
got some good news today from the Detroit Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs had that little tweaked hammy. A lot of people were worried a couple weeks ago. I wasn't worried because I saw at the preseason game, you might have saw it in person. I wasn't there. Gibbs was out there running routes before the game, catching some passes. And it came out today that he's a go. He's going to play Sunday. So it's kind of an injury update. And we're going to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. So he said he was 98 to 100%, which means you're playing. All right, full workload. Does this excite you at all?
It does, man, because I'm really interested to see. I made some comments that some guys have been really crushing me on about him being very similar, if not better, than a guy named Christian McCaffrey. So I really want to see this double 1,000, man. So you think it's possible?
I hope so. Season? Not only for the Detroit Lions' sake, but for my fantasy football team's sake as well, because that was the one guy I said I'm not leaving this draft without. And we're going to talk Jahmyr Gibbs, but the way we do our fantasy football draft with some work buddies is it's not a snake draft, all right? It's a go get your man draft, all right? You got to pay top dollar. Yeah, we do an auction league. And I said before this draft starts, Jahmyr Gibbs will be on Team Perkins no matter what, at all costs. I don't care if I have to spend $100. It's happening. So 1,000 and 1,000 means I get to be a 2-time champion. Yes, in fantasy football, that's fine. But I know that's a title you can't claim because you've never won a championship and probably never will from the looks of your team. God. But in all honesty, I don't care about fantasy football. I care about the Detroit Lions winning football games. And 1,000 and 1,000 sounds great. I don't even need that. I just need consistency. I need you to be a weapon. All the other stuff is just glitz and glamour to me.
No, I agree, man. I'm excited to see him perform, and I just don't know how you stop him, to be honest, because if you stop him, you're not stopping us, right? Because you still got Sam Laporta, you still got Amon-Ra St. Brown, you still got J-Mo. So, I mean, I'm just excited. Best offensive line in the league. There's no comparison anymore. I know we used to talk about I'm not even going to mention those other guys and those. I won't even mention it, but we're the best offensive line in the NFL right now. So I just don't know how you stop Jahmyr Gibbs, man. I'm super excited for it. I don't want to forget about David Montgomery, but I will say this. I will ask this, Steve. Is there one top dog at the running back position, or is this strictly a two-headed monster? What do you think?
I think the Lions have a two-headed monster. That's just kind of how the NFL is now. You don't have those guys that are running the ball 25 to 30 times. I mean, Derrick Henry was kind of the last of a dying breed. Even his last couple years with the Titans, they were kind of starting to slow that back a little bit. He's not running the ball 30 times, all right? And he's not in his prime anymore, but even Saquon Barkley, like guys like that aren't touching the ball 30 times, all right? We're probably talking about like a 12 and 18 split, something like that. You know, Gibbs might get 18 carries or 18 touches one week. Monty might get it the next week and it might be reversed. But if you touch the ball 20 times in the NFL, that is a lot of touches.
Yeah. I 100% agree with what you're saying. I just feel like we're looking at it in two different ways, because I do believe that there's a top dog. I agree with what you just said, though. But I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is a top dog running back in Detroit. I think that he's the one who is the most dynamic. I think he's the one that is going to hit the home run. And every time I say that, people are like, oh, David Montgomery had an 80-yard touchdown last season. And well, I get it. I'm not. David Montgomery is a heck of a running back. And I was
explosive.
When I was overjoyed when we got him. It just so happens we have a better one in camp with him. So Jahmyr Gibbs can do everything that you need a running back to do on the football field, to include have special speed. He can run in between the tackles as well. He can also run tough and run you over, which is, I think, in between the tackles was something that even personally, I underrated him on. I didn't think that he would run as tough as he does in between the tackles. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the lead back in Detroit, and I'm thankful for David Montgomery because he's not much of a step down. I don't even want to use the word step down. He's just a different type of back, but he's a number one back as well. And there's probably, I don't know, 26 teams that he could go be the lead back on. But at the Detroit Lions, to me, he is back 1.5. I won't say number 2.
Did you know that I was related to Hansel and Gretel?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I follow the breadcrumbs. And something that Jahmyr Gibbs had said earlier this year in practice, when he said he was working on his route tree, not just his running back route tree, but his receiving route tree, which is completely different. I think we're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs in the slot quite often. And if you just look at what he said, and if you look at who our offensive coordinator is, if you look at a lot of the pieces of the puzzle, it just all adds up that Jahmyr Gibbs will be touching the football more. And that doesn't have to be in the backfield. That could be as a wide receiver in the slot. He could play a lot of different positions and get the ball in his hands. It doesn't have to just be I formation or power I or anything like that. Like he could play a wing back, maybe line up, that old Monroe Hyde wing T offense. Like we could see a lot of different things. Yeah. Please God, don't let us see the wing T offense again. That's a dying off.
I don't think we'll see the wing T, but hey, our OC, man, you never know though. You never know. But you've been calling for it. I got to give you your flowers, man. You've been calling for this since the day that we drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. You want to see him on the field at slot receiver with David Montgomery in the backfield. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, if any, them guys being on the field at the same time. So I'm interested to see if it happens, man. I really hope we see a lot of it this season, because I think he can be a true threat. My count for him has always been Marshall Faulk, and that's something that Marshall Faulk, when they had that greatest show on turf, you can see Marshall Faulk in the backfield, or you can see him lining up at receiver. Man. So I hope we can get some of that in Detroit.
I don't think there's a defense that could stop a lineup of offensive line, Jared Goff, and then you throw in David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, St. Brown, Jameson Williams. That is speed all over the team. Yeah. How do you line up on defense and stop that? You can't.
You just try to make sure that the roof doesn't come off of that thing. You play bend but don't break, and hope for the best.
I need to see something like that. I don't think we did see it last year. I don't know if I really paid attention, but if we did, it was really fast and probably only a couple plays sprinkled throughout the season. But I think a formation like that just puts a lot of pressure on a defense. That's a lot of space and a lot of speed to defend, and that's tough to do. The only linebacker I've really seen that's given Jahmyr Gibbs a hard time, is, I hate to see it, has been Quay Walker from the Packers. And he's the only linebacker who has taken Jahmyr Gibbs not away, but he's kind of bottled him up Other than that, I can't think of a linebacker, a safety, or anyone who's played Jahmyr Gibbs like Quay Walker. And the thing about Quay is he makes a dumb mistake every now and then. He kind of loses his head, and he's given us some games. So in the end, it's kind of like we get the last laugh. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is an absolute weapon.
Yeah. You hit it on the head, man. Quay Walker was covering Gibbs man to man a few times, man. And I think that Gibbs was coming out of the backfield, though. You line them up at receiver when they're stacked up, I think Gibbs is going to eat them up.
Yeah, different story. And that's what I want to see. Just some 3 receiver sets, like something like that, man. Like I think Ben Johnson's going to get creative, or we're going to see Gibby used in a different way. Also, real quick, speaking of Jahmyr Gibbs, Detroit Lions announced something else. Depending on when you're watching this episode, maybe it was yesterday. Bobblehead on opening night. So if you are a fan of bobbleheads or you collect them, I have a bunch behind me. I'm not going to risk moving my camera and having a technical difficulty here. But Jahmyr Gibbs bobblehead giveaway Sunday night. It doesn't say how many. It doesn't say first 15 or first 10,000 fans. So don't roll the dice if you want one. Get there early and get there fast, and you're probably going to have to be waiting in some lines. Oh. Anything else?
If we get a couple extra ones, we're gonna get one on the den.
Listen, my wife is a sneaky little snake. We come in. Off topic. We come in, yeah, and I grab one, she grabs one, and then she does the poor little innocent girl, like, oh, we came through and didn't get a bobblehead, and we get like 3 more. So maybe we do get one to give away or do a raffle or something.
I like it.
Even though she won't let me go to Houston.
It's tough.
So guys, just chatting a little bit, about some Gibby, some good news, explosive player. Can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see him against this Rams defense. Let us know how you feel. We got some good news that he's going to be playing on Sunday night. Avoided that injury bug. Leave some comments. Hit that like button. If you want that jersey, you know what to type. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.